From awarding scandalous goals to the VAR neglecting its job in a game, these are the worst VAR decisions in football history. Starting off with this dramatic clash between Liverpool and Tottenham in 2023. Things got feisty early on. In a heated challenge, Liverpool's midfielder Curtis Jones went in for a strong tackle on Yves Bissouma. The referee initially showed a yellow card, but VAR had different plans. The officials in the video room zoomed in, analyzed every angle, and a red card? Curtis Jones got sent off, leaving Liverpool a man down with barely half an hour played. But wait a minute, the same match also had a huge turning point in the first half. This time, the drama involved a wrongfully disallowed goal. With the score tied, disaster struck when Liverpool's forward Luis Diaz unleashed an absolute screamer that rippled through the net. But wait, the linesman raised his flag for an offside. Everyone expected VAR to check the call, but instead, after a suspiciously quick review, the on-field decision stood. Goal disallowed. Luis Diaz and the entire Liverpool team left in disbelief after a clear onside goal was wrongfully chalked off. Dang, what a shame. Now let's rewind to October 2020, a heated Merseyside derby between Everton and Liverpool. Things got nasty early on, and this one involved a player who got a bit too reckless. Liverpool's Virgil van Dijk went up for a challenge in the Everton box, then bam! Everton keeper Jordan Pickford clattered into him with a horrific tackle, leaving Van Dijk writhing in pain. It was clearly a dangerous challenge that should lead to a red card. But this is where it gets even crazier. VAR didn't overturn the initial decision. Why? Because Van Dijk was fractionally offside in the build-up. Yep, you heard that right. A reckless challenge that ended Van Dijk's season with a serious injury wasn't punished. That VAR blunder there left everyone scratching their heads. Don't leave yet, cause it gets worse. Tensions were high in February 2022 as Everton hosted Manchester City in a crucial Premier League clash. The Toffees were fighting for an upset, and with the clock ticking down, there was a scuffle in the City penalty area. As the pressure mounted, a loose ball bounced around and struck the arm of City midfielder Rodri. Everton players and the Goodison Park crowd erupted, screaming for a penalty. From the replays, it was a clear handball. VAR took a good long look at the incident, with the slow-motion replay showing the ball hit Rodri's arm, but no penalty was awarded. Come on, man! That was horrible officiating! No wonder Manchester City has 115 charges against them. Daylight robbery! Sheffield United was also robbed of a pivotal goal back in July 2020. They traveled to Villa Park to face Aston Villa, desperate for points in a relegation scrap. With the score scoreless before halftime, a glimmer of hope emerged for the Blades. Oliver Norwood whipped in a dangerous free kick. Aston Villa's goalkeeper Orion Neeland fumbled the ball, and it seemed to cross the line entirely as the Sheffield dugout erupted in celebration. But the usually reliable VAR system malfunctioned. The on-field referee Michael Oliver didn't receive any signal on his watch or earpiece. Replays clearly showed the ball over the line, but incredibly, the goal was disallowed. The incident was a complete mess as they were robbed of a clear goal due to a technological failure. April 24th, 2021 saw a dramatic clash between West Ham and Chelsea, a nail-biting fight for a top 4 finish. The Hammers were hungry for points, but a controversial decision involving their center-back Fabian Balbuena threatened to derail their efforts. With the score 0-1 and the tension thick, Balbuena attempted to clear the ball after a Chelsea attack. He made contact with the Blues' left back Ben Chilwell with his follow-through. Now here's the thing, the initial contact seemed minimal and Balbuena clearly went for the ball first. But the VAR decided to take a closer look. After a seemingly endless replay analysis, referee Chris Kavanagh made a shocking call. Red card for Balbuena. The West Ham players were in disbelief and the crowd booed in disagreement. This decision was a prime example of VAR causing more drama than it solved. While there was contact, it appeared accidental and nowhere near a sending off offense. Even on the grandest football stage, VAR still has its errors. The 2018 World Cup group stage was full of surprises, and this one involved a late twist in the clash between Iran and Portugal. Portugal, the European champions, needed a win to secure the top spot in the group, while Iran needed a win to ensure qualification. The tension escalated as the game ticked to stoppage time. Portugal led 1-0 and their qualification seemed secure. Then, a scramble in the box saw Sardar Azmoun head the ball towards the Portuguese defender Cedric Soares. The referee initially waved play on, but VAR intervened. After a lengthy review, the replay showed the ball hit Cedric's arm at close range. The decision? Penalty to Iran. Controversy yet again. While there was contact, some argued it wasn't a deliberate handball. Regardless, Karim Ansari stepped up and coolly slotted the penalty home, dramatically changing the group's outcome. Portugal was left stunned, seeing their top spot disappear unjustly in the dying moments. Another controversial moment came during a heated battle for the top 4 spot as Brighton hosted Tottenham in the Premier League. The Seagulls were flying high under the exciting tactics of Roberto De Zerbi, while Spurs were desperate for points to solidify their Champions League push. With the pressure going all game long, things finally reached the boiling point in the 72nd minute. Kaoru Mitoma, Brighton's live-wire winger, weaved his magic down the left flank, leaving Tottenham defenders in his wake. As he got into the box, a clear challenge came from Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, sending Mitoma crashing down. Penalty shouts erupted from the Brighton fans and their bench. From the replays, it looked like a textbook case of a clear foul inside the box. The referee, however, remained unmoved and waved away the appeals. Thankfully, VAR was in place. A collective sigh of relief went through the Brighton faithful as they waited for the video review. Surely, VAR would overturn this obvious mistake, right? After waiting for an eternity, the replays were scrutinized from every angle. The decision came in and the stadium fell silent. No penalty. VAR upheld the referee's original call. This decision left everyone bewildered. Replays clearly showed Højbjerg's foot making contact with Mitoma, bringing him down inside the penalty area. The Brighton players were in disbelief, and the home crowd booed their disapproval. Let's return to this dramatic December 2021 clash between Tottenham and Liverpool. The atmosphere crackled with anticipation as both teams fought for the top spot. Early in the first half, things got spicy. Harry Kane, known for his clinical finishing, switched roles into a rough tackler this time. He lunged in with a high studs-up challenge on Liverpool's flying fullback Andy Robertson. A clear red card, right? The contact was undeniable, and the Liverpool players swarmed the referee, demanding a straight red card. From the replays, it looked like a horror challenge that could rule Robertson out for weeks. VAR, as always, stepped in to analyze the incident, zooming in and dissecting every replay angle. The tension grew as everyone waited with bated breath, and the decision came in yellow card for Kane. This call left everyone stunned. The tackle was reckless, high, and dangerous. While Kane didn't make full contact with the stunt, the intent seemed clear. Many felt a red card was the only responsible punishment to protect the safety of players. Kane was lucky to get away with that. Pervis Estupinian, on the other hand, was on the unlucky end of VAR decisions. The Seagulls faced up against Crystal Palace in a crucial match and felt confident securing all 3 points. In the 32nd minute, Brighton pulled a delightful attacking move, and Brighton's left back Pervis Estupinian found himself unmarked at the back post. He met the cross with a sweet first-time volley, sending the ball crashing into the net. The stadium erupted and Brighton players celebrated, but hold on a minute, the referee came out of nowhere, pointing his finger towards his ear. VAR had spotted something. A collective groan echoed through the stands as the big screen displayed the dreaded checking possible offside message. After what felt like an eternity, replays were analyzed from every possible angle. Lines were drawn and frozen frames were scrutinized. The final decision came in. Goal disallowed. Apparently, VAR deemed one of the Crystal Palace defenders was just slightly ahead of Estupinian in the offside trap, thus neglecting the goal. This decision left everyone bewildered. Replays showed Estupinian was clearly onside when the ball was played. The lines drawn by VAR seemed questionable. Brighton players surrounded the referee in protest, and the manager fumed on the sidelines, but all they could do was accept the harsh decision. If you think that was terrible, what we have in the next clip is certainly gonna shock you. Let's revisit one of the most dramatic games in the 2023-24 Champions League group stage fixtures. Under the guidance of the ambitious Eddie Howe, Newcastle United was up against the mighty Paris Saint-Germain. The Magpies faithful were buzzing with hope, hungry for an upset against the French giants. An early Alexander Isak goal gave Newcastle a huge relief as they fought to hold the lead until stoppage time. But all that hope soon turned to despair and anger when this scandalous decision occurred. A shot from Ousmane Dembélé struck the hand of Newcastle's Tino Livramento. But after the replay, everyone felt it wasn't a penalty until the VAR in charge Thomas Kwiatkowski called the referee to the on-field monitor. In a moment of shock and unbelief, the referee pointed to the spot as Kylian Mbappe coolly slotted home the equalizer to knock Newcastle out of the Champions League tournament. Even though PSG was awarded an unworthy penalty, UEFA indefinitely suspended the VAR official Thomas Kwiatkowski. Even though the solution was rather cosmetic, at least the VAR officials are getting punished for poor officiating. Next, we have a dramatic moment in the 2022 World Cup group stage. Portugal, needing a win to secure their place in the knockout rounds, were locked in a tense battle against Uruguay. The tension was at an all-time high with just a minute left to play. Bruno Fernandes, Portugal's creative maestro, attempted to weave his magic. He whipped in a dangerous ball towards the penalty area, raising the heart rates of both sets of fans. Enter Jose Maria Jimenez, the Uruguayan defensive rock, sliding in desperately, attempting to snuff out the danger. Unfortunately, the ball flicked off his arm, touching the ground as he fell backward. Replays were called for, and a collective gasp echoed throughout the stadium. Could this be a game-changing decision for Portugal? The replays were analyzed from every angle. The tension grew as everyone waited with bated breath. Finally, the verdict came in. Penalty to Portugal. VAR deemed Jimenez's arm to be in an unnatural position, and Bruno Fernandes stepped to the spot and coolly sent the penalty past the Uruguayan goalkeeper. France, the reigning champions, faced Tunisia in a seemingly straightforward encounter. Unknown to the reigning champions, however, the underdogs had other plans. The tension escalated as the clock ticked towards full time. Tunisia held a surprising 1-0 lead thanks to a Wabi Khazri goal. France, desperate for an equalizer, threw everything at their opponents. A moment of drama unfolded in the 8th minute of second half stoppage time. France launched a final attack, and the ball found its way to Antoine Griezmann in the penalty area. The forward shot found the back of the net, sending the French bench and a handful of their fans into a frenzy. But hold on, the linesman raised his flag for offside, dampening the French spirit. Replays showed Griezmann was offside when the initial cross came into the box. With the potential for a dramatic turnaround, VAR intervened for a closer look. After an agonizing wait, the final decision came in. Goal disallowed. How is that even possible? The VAR always finds ways to ruin games. What a joke. The beautiful game is riddled with moments of controversy, and the video assistant referee has become a central figure in recent years. While aiming for fair play, VAR decisions often spark debates that leave fans divided. But in its absence, football had many controversial moments. Take the infamous 2009 Champions League semi-final clash between Chelsea and Barcelona as an example. This match became a prime example of why football desperately needed VAR. The closing moments of the second leg were etched in the minds of many football fans. Chelsea, needing a goal to progress to the final, pressed relentlessly. In the dying minutes, a shot from Michael Ballack struck Samuel Eto'o's arm inside the Barcelona penalty area. Penalty appeals were strong. Replays showed clear contact, yet the referee remained unmoved, awarding a corner instead. It was like the Norwegian referee Tom Overbo was paid in Barcelona's favor ahead of the game. This wasn't the only contentious moment, mind you. Chelsea players and fans were in disbelief, feeling robbed of a clear opportunity. Unfortunately for the Blues, a late Andres Iniesta dagger knocked them out on away goals in the most scandalous game in UCL's history. A game Didier Drogba described as a disgrace, stating how UEFA was a disgrace.
For the greatest respect that a referee from Norway is the strongest official you can put down. This is supposed to be...
This incident, as well as similar incidents, played a significant role in the eventual introduction of VAR to minimize such errors and ensure fairer outcomes. The controversial calls in the Chelsea vs Barcelona match sparked outrage and highlighted the limitations of relying solely on the referee's judgment in high-pressure situations. Does VAR enhance fairness in football, or does it take away the fun out of the beautiful game? Let us know your thoughts about this in the comments down below.